Welcome to another installment of Answering YouTube Comments. I am your host, The Great Exposer. Today we'll be addressing 4 separate comments. One from my very first episode of Answering YouTube Comments. One from my RMake21 Marco Conundrum video. One from my latest episode of AYC. And one from a video on another channel that was in response to my comments left there. I will address these comments in the order I just laid out. With that, let's get started. Wow, BBC just keeps backing himself up more in a corner? How exactly? Did you not hear the little disclaimer at the beginning of the video you commented on? I said that I wasn't getting on BBC for anything new he'd done, but rather I was addressing comments left by other people on those videos. You really gotta pay a little more attention, man. Now that I've shown objectivity by proving that I will just as easily address positive comments on top of the negative ones, let's soldier on to the next comment. Oh, Jesus fuck, not this dipshit again. Lol, K, look, first off, you have no idea, like, what are you talking about? People can change minds when they want and like to do stuff and cause drama. Number 2, him in the situation it depends on, so stop making fun of our make. Fact is, he pretty much done YouTube anyway, you moron. Alright, seriously. Where the fuck did you go to school? I need to know, so in the event I ever have any kids, I'll know to stay clear the fuck away from that district. Funny thing is, you declared a first off, but only made one long run on point. It doesn't work like that, idiot. If you say first off, there has to at least be another point to warrant a second off. If your dumbass was writing an outline, you'd probably only have a Roman numeral 1 heading when the formatting rules state that you at least have to have a Roman numeral 2 as well. I also like how you made a piss poor attempt to have punctuation by separating a word and a period with a space. Yet I'm somehow the moron? Thanks for providing me with another exquisite taste of irony. As for your actual point, it's you that has no idea what you're talking about, Chief. People changing their minds once or maybe even twice isn't a problem. But in Marcus's case, I've lost count of how many times he said he was done with reviewing and or YouTube, only to come right back in and do the same stuff he said he was done with. He's constantly flip-flopped this way for years, dating back to his Nicotine Alien account. See, obviously, unlike you, I've been watching him for a long time, and I pay attention to this stuff. Like I said in that video, he's sometimes talked about his RMake21 days with disdain and even hatred of what he did, only to sometime later announce an RMake21 comeback. He's done this multiple times, which goes far beyond just changing his mind. As for your remark about him being done with YouTube, is that why he uploaded a new video just 4 fucking days ago? Yeah. Exposed. Let's just let your festering corpse of idiocy rot and move on to the next comment. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Lol, word with me, man. Wow, dude, unbelievable. Instead of just leaving a comment, you had number 2 actually make a whole vid about me, dog? See, man, you really have no life, lol. Alright, bro, I'ma lay this out, number 4, you real quick. I admit the feet comment was not necessary. K, I screwed up. Alright, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not reading it. His comment is up on the screen, so if anyone that's watching wants to kill their brain cells by reading it, just pause the damn video. There are probably trained monkeys that could type out a more coherent comment than you. But hey, at least you're finally learning some proper punctuation. I give you a gold star for that, but your overall incompetence of making any kind of point would cause me to take said gold star away and send you to the dunce's chair for all eternity. First of all, if you had bothered to watch my Great Exposer Returns video, you'd know exactly why I made the video where I utterly destroyed your stupid comment. It's because I'm not going to use Google Plus to comment due to the privacy issues that have surrounded it. I can still have this channel and not even have to touch Google Plus. But when the time comes where they're going to force it on me just to be able to have a channel, I'll pack my bags and go elsewhere. In addition, I said that instead of using Google Plus to comment, I'd most likely be making videos where I respond to the comments. Don't flatter yourself into thinking I'm doing these videos just to address your inane bullshit, as I'm doing it to address any comment I feel like addressing. Secondly, now you see what I did there? I have multiple points that warrant the use of a number structure, unlike you who just said first off like a dumbass when you only had one big long goddamn point. Anyways, secondly, about me having no life, is that why after the last BBC video I made, I wasn't heard from for about 2 months? Hell, there's been a good week-long gap between this video and the last video I posted. But I totally don't have a life, right? Allow me to show you somebody who truly doesn't have a life so you can know what the fuck you're talking about when you make the claim that somebody has no life. This is in Mendham, power word Gary Mosier. Look at the amount of videos he's made during a 4-year period. And I'm pretty sure this isn't his first account because I remember this motherfucker making videos on YouTube around 2006 or 2007, and he made just as many videos then. I've seen him post upwards of 4 videos in a single day. Now compare that with my video history and try to tell me I have no life with a straight and intelligent face. I dare you. Thirdly, no fucking shit bringing our feet into the discussion was a fuck up on your part. Unfortunately for you, however, that ain't the only fuck up you made and continue to make. What about the fuck up of the feet remarks being not necessary by your own admission, yet you keep going on and on about how luscious and supple BBC's feet are compared to mine? Okay, so you've actually seen his feet. Great. Wonderful. It still doesn't have any relevance to anything. If you admit it was a mistake to bring that up, why are you still talking about it? You're like somebody that would start a dangerous, uncontrolled campfire that spreads throughout an entire forest, admit it was a mistake to start the fire, but then go on to pour gasoline on an already raging fire and make it worse. You're absolutely fucking retarded, and you should end your life. Fourthly, I'm well aware BBC doesn't work at EA anymore, so no, I'm not complaining about him. I'm merely responding to the stupid shit fanboys like yourself have said and continue to say to me. Why do you fanboys feel the need to defend him anyway? He's a big boy and can speak for himself. Is it because you all have such hollow and meaningless lives that you feel the need to mobilize and become organized to defend somebody who makes entertaining videos on YouTube? I'd really like to know. Fifthly, if you want to get technical, I've only made 3 videos about him, considering my second video was split up into multiple parts because I didn't want to take the chance that YouTube would reject a nearly hour-long video. Here's the uncut, unedited version right here in my archived folder, and I plan to upload this version on my channel very soon since I now know for sure I can upload long videos. And no, that doesn't mean I'm going to delete the multi-part version, as there are still comments on those videos that I don't want to disappear. So no, technically, I didn't make 8 videos about him. More proof that you have no idea what you're talking about. Sixth and finally, how is it that he's paid attention to everybody else that has made multiple videos about him, or have even mentioned him in a handful of times in a negative light, yet he barely addressed me? He'll go into great detail about guys like Youngblood Fantasy 91, Helsing 920, Review Tech USA, and a whole slew of others even long after his encounters with them have ended. But with me, all he could say was, he is a sock account, he only made videos about me because I blocked him, and he can dedicate all his time to me if he wants to, even after I completely destroyed all 3 flimsy defenses? Could it be that maybe he realized that he was outclassed and couldn't actually fight against anything I said due to what I said being factual? Maybe that's the reason you dumbasses continue to defend him. Because he knows that in the encounter with me, he couldn't even defend himself. And since you all are so dedicated to whatever ideal that BBC gives to your meaningless lives, you feel anybody that even remotely criticizes him should be destroyed, even if that person's criticism is airtight. Let me reiterate this for you. You need to kill yourself. Now please understand that I don't say that out of hatred for you. I'm saying this because you've literally shown that you're a waste of oxygen. You've displayed on multiple occasions now a caliber of idiocy that could become a detriment to everyone around you. And in an effort to decrease the chances of that happening, I'm suggesting that you take your own life. However, if you want to lust over other people's feet instead, I guess that's fine too. Either way, you've been exposed as an absolute dipshit. That was the 3rd comment you left on one of my videos, and all 3 times you didn't even get remotely close to making an intelligible point or show yourself to even be an adequately thinking individual. So as far as you're concerned, strike 3. You're out. Let's move on to the final comment. Oh shit! A comment from the 7th level in response to the comments I left on his Don't Buy This Shit Deadly Premonition video months ago, where I showed in detail how terrible his review of said game was. This should be interesting. You wrote 8 comments about a 3-year-old troll review, bro. Smiley face! This was one of the first DBTSs I did, before I'd really hammered down the format. So really, looking back, this should have been a 7th first impressions video, but when I saw how much massive anti-troll hate it was getting, I left it the way it was. Smiley face! 7th, I'm a big fan of yours. I love your work, and I obviously acknowledged and looked past the fact that it was one of your early videos in the comments I made. But please don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. Your claim that your Deadly Premonition video is a troll review is bullshit. Hell, my man, you even countered that claim in the very next sentence after you made said claim. Not only that, but you showed exactly how bad the supposed art of trolling has gotten. Now with that, please excuse me while I indulge myself in a bit of a sidetrack. I'll get back on the task at hand in just a moment, but in the meantime, let me just say that I really don't care for the word troll or the concept behind it, or more specifically, what it's become. I don't know how long you've been a regular inhabitant of the internet and the many communities within it, but I've been a regular user since 2001 and an exposer, or what I at one time referred to as a truth troll, since 2003. And I can tell you firsthand that the word has gone through several contrived alterations. While it attempted to keep with the theme of doing something deliberately to get a rise out of people, the guidelines for labeling somebody as a troll became radically different over the years, even to the point where it began to warp the overall theme in which it tried to maintain. I understand that words can evolve into different meanings, but they can also devolve too, which is what I think happened with this word. It's like a fish that started to evolve into an amphibian, but then during the tetrapod phase, something went wrong and it became a mutated hybrid freak instead. First, the word troll meant somebody that was an intentional shit stirrer that constantly hijacked threads or topics of conversation that brought nothing of substance to the table other than causing a troubling reaction out of people. Then it meant somebody that would repeatedly show how stupid people could be with how they presented their own opinions, how they misrepresented the facts, or just show what kind of shitty person somebody is. Which is the kind of troll I could be classified as, which, as I said before, I refer to as truth trolling. However, the reality of it is that it's only trolling to those that can't handle or accept the truth and get butthurt over the truth being shoved into their faces, which is the point where the flimsy guidelines for the classifications of the word definition started. Then the word came to mean somebody that would repeatedly harass people or entire internet communities, even to the point of making sock accounts to get around being banned from these places. And then, arguably the worst addition of them all happened. A troll became known as somebody that would intentionally make idiotic statements in a joking manner as a means of pranking people over the internet. Or basically the internet equivalent of, I'm not serious, I'm only joking and you fell for it. What bothers me about this is that not only has the word come to encompass all these radically different meanings to the point that the word barely means anything anymore, but this latest guideline edition has become a convenient safety net defense mechanism that people use in order to backpedal after being called out on their bullshit, which is exactly what you did with the response to my comments, as well as other comments you made to others pointing out how stupid your video was. Did you really think that I didn't already know about the reactions you were getting to the video and your responses to them before I made my comments? I did know about them, and it set off my highly calibrated, state-of-the-art, robust bullshit alarm. Your response to me only confirmed my suspicions. You claim it started out as a first impressions video because you hadn't polished the format of your review videos at that point due to it being early in your video making career, which is valid, and I completely buy that, and I even acknowledge that in my comments. However, you then claim that based on the reaction the video got, all of a sudden it became a troll video? Right. Sure it did. Let me show you an example of your so-called trolling done right. I'm sure you know who this individual is, but if you don't, this is Chad Warden, aka C. Wisley, aka Chad Daddy. He goes by many names. Big Poppy is one of his aliases. He is also one of the first and most well-known examples of the joking type of trolling, in addition to being the savior of the PS Triple and the originator of ABAP. Back in early to mid 2007, during the early life cycle of the PS3, when it had barely any games, he made 2 videos praising the PS3 as a superior system while shitting on the Xbox 360 and Nintendo Wii. He did this by talking like a stereotypical, uneducated wannabe gangbanger. Needless to say, these videos didn't just piss off Xbox 360 and Wii fanboys, it pissed off the gaming community as a whole. Even guys that were popular on YouTube at the time, and still kind of are, like RMake21 and Silent Rob, for example, made videos attempting to rip him a new asshole. Then after a 3rd video he made as a response to a video made about him, where he showed off all his money and his expensive car, a 4th video surfaced of Chad Warden eating at a restaurant and talking normally. And that's when the truth was revealed. He was playing a character, and 90% of the people who watched his videos and made video responses fell for it. That's what separates guys like him from other people who claim they were trolling after getting their asses handed to them for their idiocy. He was playing a character who is nothing like who he really is, whose intentions from step fucking one was to get a negative reaction out of people. That's how he was able to say absolutely idiotic and stupid shit and somewhat get away with it. He wasn't somebody who was barely playing any character at all, who made a video for a specific reason, but then once the video got a negative reaction, they changed the purpose of the video to be a thinly veiled, poorly contrived troll trap after the fact. That's like when Tommy Wiseau claimed that The Room is supposed to be a black comedy based on the reactions from people who watched it, when in reality, the cast and crew of the film stepped up and said that he was trying to make a serious drama film. The reason for making something doesn't turn into a different reason based on how people react to it. It's only a troll video if that's the way it was meant to be interpreted from the beginning. And here's what really nullifies that trolling defense mechanism, exposes it for the bullshit that it is, and further shows how convoluted the meaning of trolling has become. You sit there and point the finger at everybody that fell for your trolling on your Deadly Premonition video, like, haha, you fell into my troll trap, hook, line, and sinker. Yet, the funny thing is, you're just as guilty of supposedly falling into a troll trap yourself by making response videos to Black Baron. Hell, you even admitted in one of these videos that he is a troll by your own classification. Roll the footage.
Of course, we all know that Imp Derp is trolling here. The man spends more time on his back with sweaty wannabes draped over his chest than he does playing video games. Much less anything on the fucking Wii. And that's the real kicker here. This is a guy who runs a fan club, a fake organization, much like the Trey Brotherhood, for the Weetards. And much like the Trey Brotherhood's founder, El Presador, he knows next to nothing about fucking video games. He's a troll. And you guys eat into that shit. He's a troll. He doesn't know anything about games. And especially not Nintendo.
So by your own logic of trolling, you fell into his troll trap. So how is it that you can attempt to mock those who pointed out the fallacies in your video for falling for trolling, yet you made legit response videos to Black Baron exposing his own stupidity, even with knowing and admitting that he's supposedly a goddamn troll? Or is it because he's a different kind of troll, and that makes your response videos acceptable and not falling for trolling? You see the absolute tangled mess the concept of trolling has become? Look, Seventh, like I said before, I'm a big fan of your work, And I understand that the Deadly Premonition video was one of your early videos before you ironed out the kinks of your format for your Don't Buy This Shit videos. I can accept that and can let it slide because your later videos were so much better. But as far as trolling is concerned, nah, son, I don't think so. That's just what you tell yourself and try to tell other people that dissect and completely destroy that terrible video you made. However, if you doing that is what's going to help you sleep at night, you can hide behind that flimsy bubble all you like. Unfortunately, it ain't the truth. In any case, keep up the great work, and I look forward to more great content from you in the future. Well, folks, we've reached the end of the road for this installment of Answering YouTube Comments. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get back to work on my next target to thoroughly and utterly expose. Needless to say, it's a big one. And since I fully expect the resulting video to be huge and comprehensive, it's going to take a lot of work. So I'm not sure yet if you'll see another one of these Answering YouTube Comments episodes before that video goes live. But if not, rest assured that I'm working on something big and will get it out as soon as it's finished to my standards. Until then, the Great Exposer has spoken.